This week on Motorhead Garage, Brian and John update a classic El Camino, as well as get a visit from the Off-Road Mafia. All of this and more next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. We have a really cool piece to start to show off with this week, a 1972 Chevy El Camino that the owner has restored to factory condition. It's got great factory-style orange paint, got all the right stuff on it. The one thing it needs a little bit of help, though, is the trim. Now, around the bed on these trucks is a really kind of nice focal point, very shiny and good-looking, but not quite the way he wants it, so we got some great pieces to fix that up.
Absolutely, Brian. The El Camino looks phenomenal. The trim, not so much. So OPGI sent us the resto parts, their kit right here, which is incredible. It's going to put around the whole bed. You have the stainless steel rails right here that go on the side. You have the zinc die-cast chrome-plated corner pieces, which are really nice, and all the hardware is included. I mean, everything's here, Brian.
OPGI has been around since 1982. Now, they've been selling parts since 82, but they've actually been manufacturing parts since 82. And now what they've done with the Resto Parts line is anything that says Resto Parts on it is a piece that OPGI themselves manufactures. We got a head start on one side of the bed, but we're going to install the other side now. So come with us as we get this OPGI chrome and stainless installed in the Elkie.
Well, we're working our way around the bed and it's looking good. Let me bring you up to speed of what we had to do. Well, we had to go inside the actual cab of the El Camino. There was two studs that were going through this back one here, just unscrewed them from the inside, and then we were able to pull the whole plate off. And there's a couple things I want to show you. The actual clips here that go in here that hold this, you can see this one right here. It's all deteriorated. Matter of fact, it's starting to crack in half. You can see it right here where it's actually broken. So that one's starting to break. The trim was actually hanging off there. You can see the other clip. It goes inside of there. It's a nice reproduction clip. It goes in there. It's going to clip on, hold that trim real well. Once we got that off, well, then we can go around and take our side pieces off here, our corner pieces. And this is a real good contrast. If you can see this right here, you can see the actual piece that went around the corner. It's all pitted. And this is real common with these older cars. It starts to pit look like this. Well, this zinc with this chrome plated does the trick. It looks really good. I got that screwed in, and we start working our way back. Pretty simple so far, the install. We're going to need to do the rails, Brian, and then we got to go back and put some of these factory clips on.
Yeah, I was just taking some of the old stock clips off, and as you can see, OPGI, the Resto Parts line, they provide a clip that's basically an identical piece to the factory one there. The cap piece itself, again, it's going to catch those clips just like it would in a normal factory application. It's going to catch the clips and kind of roll over and lock down. Now, one of the things like John showed you in the corner of the bed up there, on my back corner of the bed here, we have the end pieces, and it really is the same scenario as we saw up front. This piece is 40-plus years old now, almost 50 years old, I guess. Over time, for about a half a century's worth of wear, this thing looks pretty good, but way more luster and way more kind of a nice finish here on the brand new piece from Resto Parts.
Now to put these clips on, it's very, very simple. They got the factory hole right there with the other screw. They actually provide you the clip and the screw. So if you just take it, you put it in there and line it up to the original hole. You got the actual piece that's going to go over the body pinch weld right here. Nothing to it. Just screw it in there, goes back down. It's going to hold that new stainless steel rail really, really nice. So I'll work on these. You head into the back?
Yeah, absolutely. And as John mentioned earlier, you know, the zinc-plated pieces, the ones that are studded, they're going to fit in the factory holes, but also the self-tapping nuts that are required to affix the piece are also included. So we're going to lay this in here. And again, fits just like it should from the factory. Actually, no, I'm going to start with my end cap here. Again, the factory stud's going to go received by the hole in there. There's a small factory screw that I'm going to run into the corner. And, you know, there are a lot of companies out there that are selling trim pieces and parts, and a lot of them will basically not require you, but want you to reuse all the factory stuff, which is fine. But as John showed you, those original clips, especially on that piece that runs across the back of the cab, are ancient and they're brittle. Taking them off, they're going to break, and then you're kind of up the creek when you go to actually permanently affix the thing. So with the Resto Parts kit, the fact that you get all those pieces that you know you're going to get kind of the best attachment points on the vehicle.
It's going to look a lot better. All that wear and aging's gone.
Yeah, and it should be noted too that OPGI offers in the Resto parts line way more than just El Caminos or Chevelles. There's a wide range of products here, and you can of course visit them on the web at opgi.com to find out your application. They are constantly releasing new catalogs. They got a Corvair catalog on the way. They got some G-body stuff for those of you General Motors fans from the kind of the late 70s through the 80s G-body stuff. They're going to have all your needs handled. Even the Grand Nationals, which is those are short run and very cool cars.
Well, Brian, while we were doing that, I have all the clips on. You want to give me a hand? We'll put this trim piece on.
Yeah, I just want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like when we lay it over there just to get a look at it.
Yeah, this is going to look really, really sharp. I'll tell you that. All right. Just hook it on the back piece here. Goes down.
Yeah, it's going to clip on right in the front.
Right on.
No, it's beautiful, man.
Nothing to it.
I'm going to finish up tightening my stuff in the back. I will finish up the bed, and then you can be the polisher.
I'll tell you what, I'm polishing, I'm driving. But stick around. There's more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. LG Motorsports, a leader in high-performance Corvette and Camaro performance for the street and track. Exalta Coating Systems, we paint winners. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Steel Shield's entire family of products has been proven to reduce friction, to add to engine life, and to add to engine efficiency. Their advanced boundary film is a proprietary formula that all their products have, and it's proven its functionality in environments as tough as a Class 1 freight railroad. It's been used for 10 years in that company, and they've standardized its use in all of their locomotives. Pretty amazing stuff. There's applications whether you're a fleet owner, whether you're an owner-operator, maybe you own an industrial-style business where there's a lot of machinery involved. Anything to do with metal-to-metal contact or even metal-to-metal wear, Steel Shield is your friend. This stuff is the ultimate in metal-to-metal wear protection. Steel Shield and its ABF technology are going to help you in your engine to reduce friction in there. You're going to help you in your differentials, transmission, and there's even fuel system products available to help get the most efficiency there. We're not only talking about vehicles either, we're talking about weapons as well. If you're a competitive shooter or someone that's a sportsman that uses their weapons frequently, you know you want to keep up on that maintenance, and Steel Shield has their Weapon Shield product that will help you keep your weapons functioning properly. So whether you're in the trucking industry, whether you're a weapons owner, whether you're in an industrial environment, or even someone who uses tools for a living, Steel Shield is a product that can help you in immeasurable ways. You can visit them at steelshieldtech.com for videos, testimonials, and more information on how to get your hands on this great product.
Now, the gorgeous JK Jeep behind us, that's owned by the Off-Road Mafia, and I'm here with Drew, aka Godfather of the Off-Road Mafia. Now, you guys do a lot of stuff. I mean, there's no doubt about it, but suspension's one of your specialties. Tell us a little bit about this Jeep, and what are we going to do to it?
John, we got a JKU back here behind us, and we're going to put on a Rusty's Off-Road 3 1/4 inch radius long arm lift kit. It consists of the front and rear long arms, and these things are special because it's 2-inch Dawn pipe with large joints on them, and it's true radius arms.
Right, because it's actually bolting to it instead of the actual frame itself.
Absolutely. And then you got a good, nice heavy-duty cross member. This is the transmission cross member. It also bolts up to the front control arm mounts and replaces the factory cross member. Rusty shocks, new brake lines. We've got rear sway bar disconnects and front sway bars. And then you got brand new adjustable track bars to go in it. Helps get the alignment and everything squared away on the Jeep. New front and rear coils, and the brackets for the rear track bars with all the mounting hardware for it. This is a full bolt-on kit, no welding necessary, but a little bit of cutting on the factory mounts.
Now, how much is this going to bring the Jeep up?
This is a 3 1/4 inch lift kit, so it'll bring the Jeep up 3 1/4 inches to clear a 35-inch tire. This particular Jeep, we did the 3 1/4, plus we added 1 3/4 pucks to get it over a 37-inch tire.
Well, let's check in with Brian, see how it was done.
This is a pretty rugged kit. We saw all the pieces, very well built, very strong. Take me through the installation process, because your guys were here wrenching on the truck. They were like ninjas. This thing kind of fell onto the whole deal. So talk me through what the first step would be.
First step would be support the transmission. You have to replace the factory cross member with the upgraded Rusty's cross member to support the front control arms.
And that's cool. The radius arms front and back are going to give us the best performance possible. So once I get the cross member in, what's the next step?
You want to be able to support the front axle and cut the factory upper control arm mounts for the factory lower control arm mounts off so you can make clearance for the lowers.
Okay. Where do we go next?
Coil springs. Biggest thing is to make sure they sit up in the bucket right and you can support them.
Shock absorbers in this kit are from Rusty's. They're formulated to work
Yes.
the best with this particular setup,
Yes,
correct?
yes. We put a puck on this lift kit, just support 37-inch tall tires, so the shocks sit almost perfect.
Perfect. Track bar. And talk to me about the track bar and the sway bar end links, because you got two different things going on there. The track bar obviously super important for alignment and driving performance, but those detachable end links are a big deal too.
That definitely improves capability. You can detach that and allows your front axle or your rear axle, depending on your setup, to articulate more.
Talk me through the back.
It's pretty much the same thing. Definitely want to support the rear axle and then go for the control arms.
So, in your estimation, you do a lot of these lifts at the shop at Off-Road Mafia. How does this one stack up?
This is one of the best kits I've seen. It's super strong, super stout, with best made parts.
So one of the things we saw the guys do when they were completing the front end, they used a come-along. What was a come-along doing in there?
The come-along helps line up the track bar. With the axle sitting at full droop, the axle sitting square. Your track bar lines it up when at that right height, so the axle has to be pulled over one way to get it perfect.
What is the difference between a true radius arm rear and a hanky non-radius arm rear kit?
A lot of the kits on the market use factory upper control arm mounts in the rear, so that keeps them real short. This one makes it radius arm in the rear, so the actual axle can droop out in support of the lower control arms.
Goose, thanks so much. You guys are awesome. The kit is awesome. And John Gardner is across the shop with Drew again, and we have more from Off-Road Mafia.
Well, we got our JK up in the air about 5 inches. Time to turn our attention to these Falcon 37s, man. But Drew, I don't want to put weights and crummy up this beautiful rim. Ain't got any options?
Yeah, these TIS wheels are awesome, and they have a great big, large ring on them. What we do is a bead balance in our shop, and we use airsoft BBs or bags of pellets in order to create the balance of the tire.
Now, nothing does my heart any better than watching Old Glory sit there in the wind, man. Tell me about your flag holder.
We have these great flag holders on that Jeep right there, singles, doubles, and triples, and we sell those every day so that people can fly Old Glory behind their Jeep.
Awesome. Where can we find you at?
We're on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find us on the World Wide Web at orm4x4.com.
Well, I got a great idea, Drew. I'll tell you what. Brian's got his prized possession in the parking lot. That's a 1990 Yugo. Let's go out and run it over.
Great, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And while we do that, you stick around because we got more Motorhead Garage when we return.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Well, the Jeep seemed to be the theme of the show today, so we got another one in the shop. You know, it had two complaints. The first one, the engine runs rough. Well, we went to rockauto.com, we got our tune-up supplies, now the engine's running smooth. So it's time to turn our attention to the KC lights. They're inoperative, they don't work. So the first thing we did, well, we traced our wire harness down from each one of the lights, and here's what we found. It's not pretty. There's a whole jumble mess of wires right here. Well, it takes a lot of wires to run these. You have one coming from each one of the lights, you have a ground interruption, you have an actual switch, and you have a ground wire right here that's going down. Even worse, you have all these positive battery terminals connected here, which causes corrosion. You could get some voltage drops. You got some issues here. We really need to get this out. But you know, I wish there's a solution. You know, Brian has a solution that's going to solve this problem. I'm going to go ahead and get this jumbled mess out. Let's check in with him.
Well, John, there is a better way, and that better way is called the S-Pod. I'm going to tell you about the S-Pod while John plays the role of spaghetti mender under the hood of our Jeep. Basically, the S-Pod is a power management system that's going to allow us to power up and down different auxiliary or accessory items that we add to our Jeep over time. It's a great system. It's designed to avoid any sort of drilling, welding, cutting. You don't do any of that stuff. It's going to use factory holes. Bracketry is provided. When we get to the heart of the system, we're talking about this switch panel here. A 6-switch panel, uses a Carling Contour style switches, nice positive detents, they're great. You may also notice that there is an air pressure gauge here. Why would you have an air pressure gauge? Well, a lot of guys and girls on their Jeeps run air compressors for stuff like air lockers or if you want to air up and down on the trail. So you have that air pressure gauge as well as the provided line so you can plumb this right to the S-Pod switch center. The heart of the system, the brains of the system right here, it's the source. If we take the lid off of this, it has these nice locking covers to keep it protected. After all, this is an off-road style product, so it's pretty rugged. You can see our relays. There are 6 diodes in here. We have 8-gauge wire that runs to the battery to provide power here. The idea of this system is that as our charging systems in modern vehicles are already pretty taxed with everything that's going on, we start adding lights and other sort of accessories that we want to run, we keep adding more and more load to that system. Well, guess what? If we can take those and run it through our S-Pod, We save our vehicle's charging system, have a more reliable setup, so when we're out on the trail, we're not blowing fuses or cooking anything under the hood. It's going to allow us to have more freedom in our Jeep, and in this case, it's going to allow us to undo someone's heinous wiring under the hood of this Jeep.
Well, we're making great progress on our KC lights. I think we're going to have them operating in no time. You can see the actual wires right here. These two I actually pulled off, the positive and the negative battery terminal. There wasn't even any ends on, so we got our bird nest out of there. Time to get rid of that. Now what we did is we actually took the S-Pod wire harness, and this is really nice because you can see the actual connections right here. They give you the actual spade connector right here, and then they give you some shrink wrap. So you can put it all together. You make sure you got a weather-free or weather-pack connection right here. You're not going to have any issues with that whatsoever, so that's nice. Now, an S-Pod, they thought about everything. They even give you the tie strap, so you can go in there and you can pick your wire harness, tuck it in. We'll get it tucked up there a little bit later. And then we took the positive and the negative cable. They're right over here. Brian, I'm about ready for you. I actually got the box mounted on that side right there. So, Brian, if you just take these wires right here.
You bet. I'm going to plug in our switch panel control here.
Now, that's coming off the switches directly to the actual panel itself.
Yes, it is.
Now you got the wires coming over from the KC lights. Those two are going to go to.
Well, so we have basically the terminals are all marked. So there's switch 1 power and switch 1 ground. That's exactly what this is going to. We have 6 switches on our panel inside the Jeep. So I'm going to run these connectors down, snug my screws in. And then we'll come back after the fact and kind of zip tie this stuff down. But I'm going to go inside.
All right, while you do that, there's actually a positive and a negative cable right here. That's going to give us our power supply. Now we're losing those 8, 9 different cables. I'm going to come over here and pop them on while Brian works on that switch inside of there.
Yeah, the genius of this thing is really how simple and straightforward the install is. I mean, these guys, like you said, they really did a nice job, and it's very well engineered. I mean, the reality is this is for four-wheel drive enthusiasts that are going to be off the beaten path with their vehicles, so reliability is the biggest thing.
And all these wires are covered in loom, really, really nice, like you said, rugged. And you're eliminating so much of that wires. It's, you know, you can have a whole CANs bus network in this car, and you only need one wire going to it. You're eliminating half the wires right here, which is real nice. The relay's built into the actual control box itself. Thing can handle a massive amount of amperage, so we shouldn't have a problem whatsoever. You get these wires on here, then you only have 2. Then you have the 2 from the KC lights going to the actual control box. The relays are controlling them. The fuses are all built into the control box. I mean, they couldn't have made it any easier. This is pretty cool. How you doing up there?
I got power to my switch panel because my LEDs are lit up.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Do you want to see if these things illuminate for the first time ever?
Oh, let's give it a try. Ready?
Buckle up.
Whoa.
Hey now.
Hey, nice job, nice job. Well, you know what? All we have to do now is we got to go back and tuck in the wire harness, clean it up, put the cap on. Well, we just eliminated a massive problem. That's all we really need to do. So you stick around. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Advertising Edge, custom branding solutions and promotional products. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. You know, we love to showcase cool ideas here at Motorhead Garage, and sometimes great ideas are born out of a crummy situation. One of those great ideas, the Forever Wave flag mounting system, and I'm here with Corey, the founder of Forever Wave, the guy who has the patent on these products, and man, it started out kind of sad.
It did. It was sad. I had a U.S. flag zip tied to the roll bar of my old Jeep, and it was stolen. And so at first I was angry, and then I thought, well, there's got to be a better way to attach and detach a flag from my Jeep. And so we came up with this unique 2-part system consisting of the various sleeve mounts and the interchangeable flags that zip on and off of them.
Talk to me about how you were constructing these and really how the concept of the sleeve came up.
Right. Well, it's tapered so that it clears the seatbelt hardware on the roll bar so that it's a nice custom snug fit. And it basically is made out of a PVC coated mesh, waterproof, weather resistant, very durable. And it basically wraps around the bar and zips, and you are able to zip on and off any of our 400 different flags that we offer.
I want to get to the flags in a second, but the other thing I want to look at is we have multiple different size sleeves here, so I'm guessing kind of all Jeeps are not created equal?
That's true. There's different size roll bars depending on the make and model, so we have a variety of sizes to give you a custom fit. We do have a detailed sleeve size chart on our website that you can reference to get the correct fitment.
You know, these are really nice. Obviously, you know, we all want to see we want to see a clean American flag behind a vehicle. You don't want to see one that's all tattered and frayed, and you guys have taken some steps to make sure that doesn't happen.
Right, well, you know, the concept is modeled after Jeeps, you know, which is that tough outdoor durability, and, you know, we have a 2-ply double-sided flag that's double reinforced stitched. You know, they're everyday, take them on the highway, get them wet. They're just constructed for durability, kind of the way Jeeps are.
I would like to see you install one of these things as we have our Jeep behind us here.
Okay, I have a medium-sized sleeve for the JKU 2-door, or 4-door.
Fly the skull and crossbones.
We're going to do the pirate flag. So the sleeve is going to wrap around the bar, just below the seatbelt
Like
hardware.
you said, it's right inside the seatbelt there, so that's not restricted at all if anyone's sitting in the back and wants to put the belt on.
That's right. It zips on in the back and it Velcros over. And then once you have the sleeve mounted nice and flush, you just take any flag and then zip it on.
And, you know, again, I think the cool thing to me is how snug the fit is. So it's not going to be, I mean, the flag's going to be flapping around in the breeze, but the mount itself is going to be nice and tight.
Right, yeah, the sleeve's never going to come off. You know, we make them specific for the make and model of the Jeep.
So the roll bar sleeve is cool, but of course the antenna sleeve, because everybody's got these big antennas. This is a great spot.
Yeah, so this is our CB antenna sleeve. It's made to fit a Fire Stick or like antenna, and it's very easy to install. You just pop off the rubber cap, you slide the sleeve down onto the antenna, and then you zip on and off your favorite flag.
Now you have 400 flags currently in your inventory, but basically you can go endless with this thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We do specialize in custom flags. We do a lot of custom flags for Jeep clubs and off-road groups, or even personal design.
That's fantastic. I'm going to get the John Gardner head flag. I think is the next one I'm going to go to. I don't know how big a seller it'll be, but I think we can make some money on this thing.
All right.
So, Corey, if I had to guess, the #1 seller's got to be Old Glory.
Absolutely, yeah. We do have a wide variety of USA specialty flags, like the Subdued Blue Line.
Sure. Marine flag.
Marines. We do a lot of law enforcement and military style flags as well.
It's a great product, and I think the backstory is cool in the fact that it was a downer of a situation that you've turned into a successful business, and people all over the country are enjoying these things in droves. So thank you so much for coming in. Where do we find you on the web?
You can find us at foreverwave.com. Look us up on our Facebook page and Instagram as well.
There you go, foreverwave.com. Check them out. And if you have a cool product that you'd love to see here at Motorhead Garage, contact Jeff at masterstv.com, and maybe you'll find yourself with me and John and maybe even Corey here at the Motorhead Garage shop. We'll be back next week with more cool stuff. For now, we'll see you down the road.